For latest astrology videos, subscribe AstroEdify channel and press this bell icon to get notified when a new video goes live.
Hello everybody, welcome to AstroEdify. This is our second part in the astrology basic series which we are doing. Today we are going to discuss what are the types of houses and zodiac signs in astrology, how they are classified and what do they represent. In the first part I have already discussed that how you have to see the chart in general, what are the zodiac signs, how the houses are calculated, what planets rule a particular zodiac sign, and most importantly, how the creation happens, creation of the universe as well as the creation of you as an individual, how it is represented through astrology that I have explained in the first video. So if you have not watched that, please watch that, because most of the things which we are going to discuss today in this part will be connected to the first one. You will be able to understand in a much better manner if you already have a grasp on the first video. So for more, if you want to book a consultation for yourself, you can go on this website. The link is given in the description. So today we are going to talk about the types of houses and the classification of the zodiac signs in astrology, how they are done, and what particular types of houses represent that we are going to see. So so we will start with the Kendra houses first. So the thing here is that what are the houses, what are the zodiac signs, how you have to see them, I have already explained in the first video. If you are a beginner, you do not know that, see the first video. But the thing is that Kendra houses are the most important houses in the chart. So there are 12 houses in total. First, 4th, 7th and 10th house, they together form the Kendra houses. Kendra means the central houses, the cardinal houses, and they not only are the center, they are not only located at the center of the chart, but also they represent represent as central pillars of our own life. Now the reason is that, see, the first house is the most important house. I have explained in the previous video already, because first house is you yourself, the individual finite pure existence consciousness bliss, which has taken a form, a name and a purpose, and has come into existence after the creation of the universe. That is the first house. So it is you, the pure subject, that is the first house. So first house is the most important house, which is also known as the Lagna or the ascendant. So obviously it is the main central pillar of your life because it is you. Then 7th house. Why 7th house? Because 7th house is the objective manifestation of the pure existence consciousness bliss. So that is, first house is the subject, which is you, and 7th house is the world around you, in where you live. So 7th house is the object or the objective universe where the person is living. So 7th house automatically is going to be there if the first house is existing. So that also becomes the important, very, very important aspect of our life. Because if you are there, then the world is also there. So both the individual as well as the Maya, means the material world, they coexist with each other. So first house and 7th house, they form the central pillar of our life. That is why they are extremely important and are included in Kendra houses. Then 4th house. 4th house is your happiness, home environment, and mainly 4th house is your mind, emotions, feelings. So 4th house is the mind itself. After the creation, you are having a mind which is longing for desires, which has emotions, which has feeling, which has thought patterns, which is continuously changing on a day-to-day basis. So 4th house becomes extremely important because it is your own mind and your own thoughts and the desires generated in the mind which lead you to perform the actions in life. So what is the 10th house? 10th house is the actions. So if you are right now created and came into existence in this world, now you have to perform actions. You have to do the karma. So 10th house is the karma. So karma means the action plus consequences. Nobody is what you can say, nobody can escape the karmic cycle. They have to perform the actions. Even taking the breath also is the action, continuous action which the person is doing. So forget about other events. They are already much more important, much more vigorous than taking the breath. So the thing here is that 10th house shows the continuous cycle of the actions which the person has to do while he is alive. So first house is you, the subject. 7th house is the objective universe. 4th house is your mind and emotions and desires and thoughts. And 10th house is the action which are coming into existence because you exist as a subject, as well as you are performing the actions based on your desires which are generated in the mind. So that is why Kendra houses are extremely important, and the planets, generally these are considered very auspicious in nature. So planets which are the controller of the Kendra houses and planets which are sitting in the Kendra houses are considered normally favorable and auspicious to give the results. However, you have to check their individual situation in the chart. Next point here is the second type of houses which are categorized are known as Trikona houses. Trikona literally means triangle. So first, 5th and 9th house, they together form the Trikona houses. So first house, 5th house and 9th house. Now Trikona is also considered naturally auspicious, lucky, as well as favorable to give good results in life. So planets which are the lord of Trikona houses as well as the planets which are sitting in Trikona houses are generally considered favorable for the person to give results in life. Now, why they are important and why they are considered good? Because first house, again, first house is you yourself. I've already explained that why first house is important. Now, the 5th and 9th house are responsible for creation. See my first video which I am talking about, because there I have explained that why 5th and 9th house are necessary, because the creation starts from 5th and the 9th house. So from the 5th house, Sun starts the creation. From the 9th house, Jupiter starts the creation. So 5th and 9th house are responsible for bringing you as a subject into existence. The 5th and 9th house are important for the creation itself, or creation of what? The universe, and particularly you in this universe. So 5th and 9th are the Trikona houses, and also 5th and 9th are considered the houses which are the controllers of past life action, Purva Janma Karma. So why past life actions? Because it shows the manifestation of the individual, of the non-dual infinite pure existence consciousness bliss into a finite individual dual pure existence consciousness bliss, which we call as Atma. So the thing here is that if you talk about the source point, forget about all the past life which have happened, go to a source where the first manifestation has happened of the Atma, the first manifestation, it led to the creation of you for the first time. So that is 5th and 9th house. They are showing your past karmic memory, past karmic actions all together, which, and when I say you as a subject, not in the form of this body-mind complex, you as Atma, you as the soul, that is what I am talking about, not you as a person who is living in this body-mind complex. So the Atma which has transferred, which has migrated or which has manifested into various life forms over a period of time, that is seen from 5th and 9th house. That is why it shows past life actions. Then it also shows your bhagya. Bhagya means your fate, your luck, your fortune. Because what creates fortune? Your karma creates fortune. But the karma is not only of this life. Karma is also of all the past lives which the Atma has taken. So that is why they are known as the houses of bhagya. And they are also responsible for knowledge, education, learning, wisdom, higher learning, divine knowledge. It shows your teachers, your gurus, your mentors. So anything which gives you realization of what you are, or tries to take you back to your source, means what you really are as Atma, not as a body-mind complex. That is represented by 1st, 5th, 9th house. So they are generally considered very auspicious naturally. Next type of houses are Upachaya houses. 3rd, 6th, 10th and 11th, they together form the Upachaya houses. Upachaya houses represent those kind of areas which improve with the time in our lives. Initially, there will be struggle. Initially, you will be facing a lot of hardship there. But gradually, with respect to time, with respect to experience, person improves in them. Now, it starts with 11th house. Now, 11th house is the house of desires. All the desires which you have in your mind. Now, to fulfill your desires, you have to work. You cannot sit idle and expect that your desires will be fulfilled. So, you have to put efforts. And you have to take some risk. You have to be courageous enough to pursue your dreams. So, what is the house which represents that? That is the 3rd house. So, 11th house was desire. 3rd house is the efforts which you put in to fulfill those desires. Now, the thing here is that the desire which you have is not, it's not very extraordinary. It's not uncommon. It's a common desire. If you have any desire, it does not mean that you are the only person who is having that desire. Similarly, other people will also have the similar desires. Let's suppose you think that I'm going to be an engineer someday. I want to study in a Ivy League college. Are you the only one who is desiring to study in a Ivy League college? There are innumerable people who are trying to get into that Ivy League college to do engineering and become a good engineer later in life. So, what does it show? That now, despite putting your efforts, you have to engage in competition, and competition is 6th house. So 6th house is you putting your efforts. That is one thing, but you have to fight in a battle. You have to fight with the people who are competing for the same thing to achieve in their lives. So 6th house is important for competition in our lives. It is the house which shows us enemies. So I am not saying that it is enemies literally. It shows your opponent. It shows that the person who is competing for the same thing which you are competing for. So after 3rd house, 6th house comes into play. And that is why 6th house is the house of obstacles, troubles, conflicts, struggle and delay. Because it makes you fight for the things which you want really hard. Then 10th house. Now 10th house is the main reason why you are fighting for all these things, because 10th house is the accomplishment of the desire which has happened, which was generated. You worked hard for that, you fought the competition, and now you won in the competition and you reached the 10th house. You became the engineer, you became the manager or the bureaucrat or whatever you wanted, because the 10th house is the actions, the karma. So actions plus consequences. So it is the house where material accomplishments happen. So this is how Upachaya houses are seen. Now the next part is Dusthana houses. Now Dusthana literally means bad, malefic place. So Sthana means place, Du means bad. So it is a bad place. Now Dusthana houses are also known as Trikona houses, but they are formed by 6th, 8th and 12th house. So 6th, 8th and 12th house together make up the Dusthana houses, and they are not considered auspicious. They create problems, troubles and hardships and suffering in our lives, because 6th house is the house of enemies, health problems, diseases, loans, debts, liabilities, obstacles, troubles, struggle, delay of any kind. That is 6th house. And most importantly, 6th house is Shadripu. Shadripu means 6 enemies of man, or 6 degeneracies in our behavior. And what are they? They are lust, greed, anger, ego, attachment and jealousy. So they create, what you can say, they limit our own true nature. They are responsible for keeping us in ignorance, means keeping us in a state where we do not know who we really are, and we associate with the body-mind complex, and we associate ourselves with the objective universe. We forget that who is the subject. We forget that we are the subject. We think that we associate with object, and that is what we really are. So that is 6th house, and that is why it is the most malefic house in the whole chart. Then after that, it is 8th house. 8th house is constant ups and downs, fluctuations, changes, transformation, instability. It is the house of accidents, injuries, sudden events, surgeries. It is also the house of longevity as well as death. If 8th house is well placed, then it increases the longevity. If it is badly placed, then it shows that it will reduce the longevity and can give death to the person. So 8th house is all the negative things in our lives which are bringing or enhancing suffering or misery in our lives. That is 8th house. Then 12th house. 12th house is the house of losses, and losses of any kind. Loss of health, loss of family members, loss of children, loss of your career, loss of finances, loss of education, loss of any kind can be seen from 12th house. So 12th house is the house which represents losses of every kind, and also 12th house is the house which is responsible for bondage as well as liberation. So it is dependent upon the 12th house whether the person will be in bondage or whether he will be moving towards the liberation in their lives. That depends on the 12th house, because it is upon the person himself where he associates within this world, whether he is going to experience the suffering, misery and bondage, or whether he is going to experience peace, tranquility and enlightenment or liberation. That depends on the 12th house. But 12th house, naturally, from the material perspective, it is negative. So these are Dusthana houses, bad houses. So planets which sit there, which are the lords of these houses, they are naturally considered malefic, and you have to look them very carefully how they are behaving, because these planets will have tremendous capacity to generate problems in life of any kind. That depends on the yogas, what they are making. Now, next type of houses are Marak houses. Marak houses consist of 2nd and 7th house. Now, Marak house means these are also negative houses. Why? Because 7th house falls in 12th place from 8th house. Okay. So I said 1st house and 8th house represent longevity, and 12th house is the house of losses. So who is in 12th place from 8th house? So from 8th house, the 12th place is 7th house, and 7th house means loss of life. 8th house is longevity. So what is loss of longevity? Short life. So that is 7th house. 7th house is Marak house. Marak means which kills you. Second thing, 2nd house also is the Marak house, because it is in 12th place from the 3rd house. So why 3rd house is necessary? Because from the 8th house is the house of longevity. From the 8th house, if you calculate 8 places from 8th house, so include 8th house and calculate 8 places from 8th house. This concept is known as Bhavat Bhavam. So the thing here is that you just calculate the same number of houses from the house where you are calculating it. So from 8th house, calculate 8 places from 8th house. So you will reach to 3rd house. So 3rd house also shows us that it is playing a role in our life, longevity. But who is in 12th place from 3rd house? 2nd house. And that is why 2nd house, because 12th house is loss. So 2nd house also becomes the Marak house. So Marak means negative, malefic houses which can kill you or harm you in any way. It does not mean that they will kill you always. They can, depending upon the yogas, but they can harm you in any way. So they can harm not only the life, not only the health, but they can harm in any possible manner. They can harm in terms of career, profession, finances, marriage, personal life, children, anything which you think of. So any kind of malefic results can be generated by 2nd and 7th house, or the planets which sit there, or the lords of the 2nd and 7th house, if they are badly placed. So they are Marak houses which are naturally negative for the person. So these are the types of houses. Now we will talk about the types of Trikona. Trikona, as I already have told you, that Trikona means a triangle or trine. So there are 4 types of Trikona in Jyotish, and they are Dharma Trikona, Artha Trikona, Kama Trikona and Moksha Trikona. What they are, I will explain you. But the main point here which you have to understand is that the whole existence and the personality of an individual being is dependent or categorized upon these four elements, four traits: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Now, Dharma is the sense of duty, morality, your purpose in life. That is Dharma. Then Artha. Artha means the transactional life which is going on in this world around you. So you have to participate in that. You cannot, you cannot escape it at any point. So that is Artha. Artha means the money, the economy. That is Artha. So I will explain how it works, but that is also important. And then third is Kama. Kama means the intrinsic, inherent, innate desires. That is Kama. And they are responsible for what? For bringing actions from you. You have certain desires. That is why you do something. If you don't have any desires, why will you do something? So that is Kama Trikona. Kama means Kamana. So Kama and Kamana literally means the desire in the person. Then Moksha. Moksha means the houses which are responsible for enlightenment or liberation, which help you to realize your own true nature. Means they help you to self-realize yourself and ultimately achieve liberation. So that is Moksha. So now Dharma Trikona we will talk about. Dharma Trikona is formed by 1st, 5th and 9th house. I have already explained 1st, 5th and 9th house are very important because 1st house is you as the pure subject which has come into existence. Second thing, 5th and 9th house are the houses which are responsible for creation of you as a pure subject. So 5th and 9th house are responsible for that creation which has happened. And apart from that, Dharma Trikona is the house or the trine which is responsible for bringing knowledge or wisdom in you. Of what? Of you as the pure subject. It helps you to realize yourself. It helps you to attain wisdom or knowledge in order to negate the ignorance which has established within you. So it is the house of Jnana, and Jnana means the knowledge, and it reduces what? Ajnana, ignorance in the person due to which you are in bondage and in suffering in this world. So 1st house, 5th house, 9th house are the houses of intellect, knowledge, learning, education, wisdom, teachers, mentors, gurus, philosophy, religion, culture, tradition, everything which brings you close to your own self. And they also are the houses which make up your belief system, morals, ethics, values, principles, ideologies. So 1st, 5th and 9th house give you a sense of purpose also why you are living in this world. Is there any life purpose? That is 1st, 5th and 9th house which help you to understand. If they are badly placed, person does not know what they are doing in their life. They are clueless. If they are well placed, they will have a sense of duty. They will have a sense of purpose in their lives, what they are living for. So 1st, 5th and 9th house are the Dharma Trikona. They are extremely good houses, as I have already mentioned. Then second is Artha Trikona. Artha means, Artha is first of all, it is made up by 2nd, 6th and 10th house. So Artha means the money. Literally Artha means the money, the economy which is going on. So we are living in this world and we need some basic resources to survive. If we don't have that, we will die. So the basic resources like food, water, shelter, clothes, all these things, money, occupation, something to live for. Without that, your body will not survive. So that is 2nd, 6th and 10th house. They control that, because 2nd house is what? 2nd house is your family. 2nd house is the money, the finances, the wealth, the savings which you have in your life. That is 2nd house, the money itself. Then the 6th house. 6th house is the competition which I have already told you, because in order to live in this world, resources are finite and population is huge. So everybody is competing and fighting for the limited scarce resource, which means that you have to fight for the same resource. You cannot escape that competition. You cannot escape that struggle. But 6th house also shows the hunger within you. The hunger, the literal hunger which you have, which you feel, the craving to eat, and also the hunger means the desire to want something in life. So 6th house also shows the hunger within you. So 6th house is very necessary for what? For survival of the body. If 6th house is not there, how can you survive? So that is the part of Artha Trikona, and most importantly, why you are earning the money. Forget about other desires. Main reason to earn the money is for what? To fulfill your hunger and to have a sound life and provide for family. Mainly for what? Mainly in terms of food and resources. That is 6th house. So 6th house is very important. Then 10th house. 10th house is what? The house of actions and consequences. All the things which you are doing in this world, all the actions which you are performing, that is on that is seen from the 10th house. So 10th house also represents the material accomplishments, means the actions which you have done to achieve something. Whether you got that or not, that is 10th house. So 10th house is the action, and as I already mentioned, 10th house is also the part of Kendra houses. You can never escape action till you are alive. You can never ever escape the karma. So 10th house forms one of the major parts of the Artha Trikona. So this is Artha Trikona. Then the third is Kama Trikona. So Kama Trikona is consisted of 3rd, 7th and 11th house. Now 11th house is simple. 11th house is desires, and 3rd house is I already mentioned efforts which you put to fulfill those desires, the courage, the risk which you take to fulfill your dreams. But ultimately it is culminating in 7th house, because 7th house is the society. 7th house is the objective material world where you are living, and 7th house is pure duality, pure dual life. So everything which you are trying to get in this world, you are trying to get in order to move up the ladder in dominance hierarchy. 7th house is dominance hierarchy, the society where you live, and it is categorized in a pyramid scheme where people are at the lowest, which are weak, who do not have resources, who are fighting, and they are living in quite dire situations. Then there are people who are in middle, they are still better than the people who are the lower ones, and then there are people above them who are having highest resources, and they are at the supreme level of comfort. So why you are doing all this? Why you are fulfilling all desires and everything and all those things? Why? Because in order to have stability in your life and have a peace of mind and happiness, simple. That is what you are, that is why you are doing all this. But also happiness in comparison to something. So comparison means let's suppose if a person thinks that I want to earn $1 million. So $1 million is just a number. But what does it show? It shows that if you have that amount of money, you will be richer than a particular set of population. So you want to come to a higher level of dominance hierarchy through attainment of those resources. It can be power, it can be money, it can be anything. So that is 7th house. So that is your Kama Trikona. Next thing is Moksha Trikona. Now Moksha Trikona is the houses which are responsible for helping you to realize yourself. Because even after attaining everything in life, when the person feels discontented, dissatisfied, detached, and does not know what he is doing in his life, then it means that Moksha Trikona are favorable or trying to help the person to self-introspect and move towards a spiritual path. So 4th, 8th and 12th house, they make up the Moksha Trikona. And now see that 8th and 12th house, I have already explained that they are the part of Dusthana houses, bad houses. And here they are controlling Moksha Trikona. Moksha means your liberation, enlightenment. That is Moksha. So 4th, 8th and 12th house. 4th house is your mind and purity of the mind, and purity of the mind is very important for spiritual life. And mind is the main thing, because if mind is not inclined towards self-realization or liberation, then forget about 8th and 12th. They are never going to help you. So 4th house shows us the detachment or the attachment towards the material world and the mental state. Then 8th house is rejection of the mental of the material world. It shows tremendous detachment, austerity, rigorous spiritual practices. For what? For one single pointed goal, to achieve Atma Bodha or enlightenment. That what is 12th house? 12th house is Samadhi. 12th house is Moksha. 12th house is the final liberation, which you call. You realize what you really are. That is 12th house. And that is why I said 12th house, if it is well placed, it gives you liberation. And 12th house, if it is badly placed, it gives you bondage, because it depends upon the mind. Whether mind associates with ignorance or it associates with the jnana, the knowledge, pure knowledge. If it associates with pure knowledge, and if it pure knowledge means pure self knowledge, not the material knowledge, and if it associates with ignorance, it is going to be continuously experiencing bondage, misery, suffering. And if it is associating with what? With pure self knowledge, jnana, then it will be free from the bondage, misery and suffering. There will be no suffering, and it will come to peace, come to happiness and pure bliss. That is 12th house. So this is Moksha Trikona. So now we will discuss about the types of zodiac signs which are classified in Jyotish. So see, we have we divide the entire 360-degree arc on the solar sky in 12 divisions, and each division is 30 degrees long, and it is known as Rashi or the zodiac sign. So now you know that each zodiac sign is 30 degrees long, and 12 into 30 is equal to 360 degrees, which will be the entire degrees or the circumference of the total zodiac in the solar sky. Now, there are types of zodiac signs. I have already told you how to see the zodiac signs and what are the rulers of each zodiac sign in the first video. You can watch that. But we will categorize the zodiac signs today in several types. So first is based upon the movement. So there are 3 types of zodiac signs. One is based on the movement. One is movable. We also call them as a Chara Rashi. Then there are fixed signs, which is also known as Sthira Rashi, and dual signs which have dual nature, means Dvisabhav Rashi. So movable signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra and Capricorn. Fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and dual signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces. These are the divisions as per the type of movement of the zodiac sign. Second thing is based upon the type of element that zodiac sign contains. That there also we have divisions or categorization. So there are fire, earth, air and water signs. Total 4 elements are there, which into which the 12 zodiac signs are divided, 3 into each. So fire signs are Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Now remember the first video I have told you, fire is responsible for creation. So fire is what? Fire is light plus heat. So it is responsible for creation here. So Sun, Mars and Jupiter control that. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius are fire signs. Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Air signs are Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. These are the classifications of each zodiac sign. Now what each zodiac sign represent and what do they symbolize, that we will discuss later in future. But today I have shown you that what are the types of houses, what are the types of zodiac signs, how they are classified in astrology. So I think that you would have understood in much better detail that how the houses are not only calculated, but how you have to analyze them and what do they represent. Okay. So that's all in this video so far. In the next video, we will talk about we will see a table there actually where we will see that what planet is exalted in which zodiac sign, it rules what zodiac sign, in which zodiac sign it is debilitated, and what is their Mool Trikona zodiac sign, everything we will see. And most importantly, why each planet is exalted or debilitated or has a Mool Trikona Rashi particularly. Why that particular zodiac sign is given to it, that we will see. So till then, I think that you would have understood what we have discussed today. If you are new to my channel, subscribe below for more. Check on my website and Facebook page and Instagram. Otherwise, we will meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye and thank you.